Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes EU lawmakers back tough media law against big tech's content removal decisions. British expats to lose tax breaks in Portugal. Exclusive, Meta to lay off employees in metaverse silicon unit on Wednesday. India tells Canada to remove 41 of its 62 diplomats in the country, an official says. Trudeau rejects retaliation as India moves to expel Canadian diplomats. EU lawmakers back tough media law against big tech's content removal decisions. Reuters. EU lawmakers have voted in favor of draft rules that target Google and other large online platforms' content moderation restrictions. The draft rules, known as Article 17 of the Media Freedom Act, require online platforms to carry news content for 24 hours before taking it down if it breaches their content moderation rules. The move is aimed at ensuring media plurality and safeguarding editorial independence. However, tech lobbying group CCIA Europe, whose members include Google and Meta platforms, said the rules could be exploited to spread disinformation. The proposed rules will now need to be discussed and agreed with EU countries before being adopted. British expats to lose tax breaks in Portugal. Telegraph. Portugal is planning to end tax breaks for foreign residents due to concerns that the wave of wealthy arrivals is driving up property prices. The non-habitual resident regime, which provides residency to those spending more than 183 days a year in the country, offers a special tax rate of 20% for income from high-value-added activities. It also provides a flat tax of 10% on foreign pensions and a tax exemption on foreign source income. The policy, which was introduced to aid Portugal's recovery from the 2008 financial crash, will be phased out by 2024, but will remain in place for existing beneficiaries. Exclusive, Meta to lay off employees in metaverse silicon unit on Wednesday. Reuters. Meta, formerly known as Facebook, is reportedly planning to lay off employees in its Reality Labs division. This unit focuses on creating custom silicon for the company's metaverse-oriented projects. The affected employees were informed via Meta's internal discussion forum and will be notified about their status with the company by Thursday morning. India tells Canada to remove 41 of its 62 diplomats in the country, an official says. The Toronto Star. India has requested Canada to remove 41 of its 62 diplomats in the country following allegations of Indian involvement in the killing of a Sikh separatist leader in suburban Vancouver. Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Canadian citizen born in India, was killed by masked gunmen in June. India has accused Canada of giving free rein to Sikh separatists, including Nijjar. The two countries have been engaged in a diplomatic clash in recent months, with India cancelling visas for Canadians and expelling a senior Canadian diplomat. The latest expulsions by India have escalated tensions between the countries, with observers noting that the move severely weakens Canada's diplomatic services in India. The controversy between the two countries could also impact on U.S. relations with India. Trudeau rejects retaliation as India moves to expel Canadian diplomats. New York Times. Canada is in talks with India over India's demand that dozens of Canadian diplomats leave the country within a week. The demand is the latest escalation in tensions between the two countries, which started when Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said last month that India had played a role in the killing of a Canadian Sikh activist in British Columbia. India has told 41 of Canada's 62 diplomats based there that they must leave. Trudeau and Canada's Foreign Minister, Melanie Joly, both said they wanted to avoid further inflaming the situation. PEI government still in aggression mode getting heat pumps installed. CBC. The government of Prince Edward Island, PEI, in Canada has successfully encouraged more residents to install heat pumps in their homes through incentive programs. The government began offering incentives in 2015-16, and by 2021, the percentage of homes using heat pumps as a primary heating source had increased from 10% to 27%. The government has supported the installation of thousands of additional heat pumps, with 7,330 installed through an incentive program and another 7,000 installed through a program for low-income residents. The use of heat pumps has been aided by improvements in the technology, which now operates efficiently at colder temperatures. The incentives have helped reduce greenhouse gas emissions and provide cost savings for homeowners. Most of the 16 bomb threats targeting Hamilton schools came from offshore, police say. CBC. During the last week of September, Hamilton schools received 16 bomb threats, most of which came from offshore, according to police. The threat started at Nora Francis Henderson Secondary School and referred to a teacher who had previously garnered media attention for wearing large prosthetic breasts. The threats led to copycat occurrences at other schools. One 13-year-old was arrested for calling in a bomb threat to Mount Albion Elementary School. None of the threats have been determined to be actual incidents, but police are still investigating the nature of the threats and have not yet identified the sender. Meta Oversight Board to open case on manipulated video of U.S. President Biden. Reuters. Meta's Oversight Board is opening a case to examine an altered video of U.S. President Joe Biden on Facebook. The board, which operates independently of Meta, plans to examine issues related to manipulated media and the company's policies on misinformation, particularly regarding elections. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your trusted observer from the 6 Degrees world. Today, we have an interesting mix of news stories from around the globe. Let's dive in. First up, we have EU lawmakers backing tough media laws against big tech. The draft rules, known as Article 17 of the Media Freedom Act, aim to target Google and other large online platforms' content moderation restrictions. These rules would require platforms to keep news content up for 24 hours before taking it down. It's all about ensuring media plurality and safeguarding editorial independence. However, tech lobbying groups are raising concerns about potential exploitation and the spread of disinformation. It's a battle between responsibility and freedom of speech. What are your thoughts on this? Moving on, we have some news from sunny Portugal. British expats are about to lose their tax breaks in the country. Portugal is concerned that the influx of wealthy arrivals is driving up property prices, so they're phasing out the non-habitual resident regime, which provides special tax rates for foreign residents. It's a blow for those enjoying the perks, but it's aimed at balancing the housing market. I guess the sun isn't shining as brightly for British expats anymore. In the tech world, Meta, formerly known as Facebook, is reportedly planning layoffs in its Reality Labs division. The affected employees are part of the Metaverse Silicon Unit, which focuses on creating custom silicon for Meta's metaverse-oriented projects. It's a tough reality for those employees, but Meta has its own plans and priorities. I wonder what this means for the future of the metaverse. Now, let's talk about international relations. India has requested Canada to remove a significant number of diplomats from the country. This move comes after allegations of Indian involvement in the killing of a Sikh separatist leader in Canada. The tension between the two countries is escalating, with expulsions and visa cancellations on the table. It's a sticky diplomatic situation that could have wider implications for U.S. relations with India. The plot thickens, my friends. Speaking of Canada, the government of Prince Edward Island, PEI, has been successful in promoting the use of heat pumps in homes. Through incentive programs, they have encouraged more residents to install heat pumps as a primary heating source. The technology has improved, and the government's efforts have resulted in a significant increase in heat pump usage. It's a win-win situation for homeowners and the environment. Who knew heat pumps could be so cool? Lastly, we have a concerning situation in Hamilton, Canada. Schools in the area received multiple bomb threats, most of which originated from offshore locations. While none of the threats have been confirmed as actual incidents, the police are still investigating the matter. It's a reminder that even in the digital age, the consequences of our actions can be very real. Let's hope they catch the culprits soon and ensure the safety of the students. That's all for today's news. What are your thoughts on these stories? Do you have any burning questions for Dr. Six? Share your ideas, opinions, and questions, and let's engage in lively discussions. Remember, the world is just 6 degrees away. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.